Hi, welcome to the Why Not podcast. I'm James Drake, and I'm here today with my brother Tom Drake and our roommate Kyle. Was it Bennett?
Barrett.
Barrett. Kyle Barrett. Shows how much I pay attention to my roommates. Yay! Sorry about that. Today's topic is going to be crazy stories. So yeah. Crazy story number one that's happening to us right now. Our trash can got stolen or has gone missing. We got a runaway trash can, and I just found that out this week, and it happened last week. And so you guys went looking for it?
We went down to the end of the block, and that was about the extent of it, I think.
Yeah, we just we took the trash can out. Well, I took it out one night, Sunday night. And
Monday was trash day.
Yeah, it only had one wheel. One wheel was missing. So
It's a pretty distinctive trash can.
Yeah, I started dragging it. Realized I had one wheel. Lifted it up. Luckily, there was like hardly any trash in it. Put it out there, and that was the last we saw of it.
Huh.
It was about a 30-gallon lidded Coleman trash can. No specific company markings on it. Gray body, black lid.
My assertion is that the garbage can saw how bad the trash can was and just thought it was garbage.
And just tossed it in with
Yeah,
the
We
rest
were
of the
throwing
trash.
out the can with the rest of the trash.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah. So if you are in the Fremont area and see this one-wheeled 30-gallon trash can, please contact us. You can do so by commenting on this podcast on SoundCloud.
Actually, USPS postage would probably be the best way.
You know what? I'll throw something up, or in a video form, or
We're starting a Kickstarter.
you can help us. You can help us buy a new trash can, because we don't know if the waste management company thing will provide us with a new one, or we have to go to Fred Meyer and buy.
Well, our landlord might be able to.
Or our landlord.
It's his account.
What?
It's his account.
Right.
Technically, he's responsible.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we're kind of just technically paying him a fee for what he's paying for
It is
water
a
and sewer and
contractual
garbage.
agreement to pay the fee, though.
It is a contractual agreement to pay the fee, but there is nothing anywhere in our lease about
That's true.
missing trash cans.
That's true.
Actually, in section 4,
I
bullet
feel
point
like it's one
C.
of the things where it's like if we see a flood in our house developing, we go turn off the water main. And we have turned off our
Right.
water main, metaphorically.
Speaking, we could have prevented
Well,
the
it's like-
trash can being stolen or thrown away or running away. Whatever that
I feel
situation
like someone
might be.
it has to be somewhere. Like, I don't think they threw it away.
Trash cans just don't go missing, guys.
They just don't walk off on themselves. They just.
My question is, if it got stolen, why? Because it's not a good trash can.
If it's not a good trash can, you have to pay more to dump more trash.
So maybe
Yeah.
it blew away, and then someone grabbed it, like a neighbor, and like put it somewhere we can see it.
But like, why wouldn't they like bring it? Like, are we just supposed to like go around going door to
Right,
door,
like,
being
why
like,
wouldn't
have
they
you
just
seen our
bring it
trash
back?
can?
Are we
Yeah.
supposed to put up missing posters?
We're actually
around
supposed to
town?
send out an Amber Alert for the trash can.
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's probably the best way.
This is the most efficient way. It'll go off on everybody's phone.
Hmm. I never get Amber Alerts.
It's good.
I know. Well, it's good in a sense.
Right. They're not very. They're not frequent.
They're not frequent, but whenever people get them around me, I never get them, and I have no idea why.
Maybe because is your phone a California number?
Well, yeah, but it happened to me in California as well. I've never gotten an Amber Alert on my phone.
Do
If you have your
a newer
GPS
phone?
turned on. If your GPS isn't turned on, like it's probably not going to have like the ability. I mean, it probably like deep into hardware has the ability to know where you are, but like not enough for like whoever's sending out the Amber Alerts.
Is it actually how it works?
Notify.
Because you're on record here.
The government's listening to us.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, I know, like, I
I
know
like
we're
to
on the
think-
record, and I know, like, we can be heard at any time about anything, like, technically. But I mean, Amber Alerts aren't run through like the federal government.
You're telling me Obama isn't paying attention to all these kids going missing?
If
Yes.
Obama doesn't
Probably
see it on
needs
his milk
America.
carton, he doesn't give a shit.
Huh.
Wow.
He's a milk carton man. We all know that. We all know that
He
going into
drinks milk
office.
every morning.
Oh yeah, he's a whole milk kind of guy.
He goes to his front porch every morning to get that
I think he's a fat-free kind of guy.
fat free.
Got
Yeah.
those growing brain cells. Use the fat in the milk.
I like to think that somewhere out there, the government is listening to Week 1. Why not podcast?
Like live, or like after you put this up.
Both.
Okay.
Where does this go?
Internets, SoundCloud, YouTube's,
That is pretty
Facebook.
public.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure the government pays attention to all of those platforms.
True.
There's that new act that got approved, right? I saw some sort of hubbub on the internet about that.
Is that the one that like, we passed it for something and like at the last minute they threw it in?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was like a
the-
NASA funding
Right,
one.
right.
Then
Yeah.
they snuck it in with that. And then it passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it just gives them a lot of power and the information they can access.
Makes it easier for businesses to get information
Right. Yeah.
without having to get warrants. That's not funny. That's serious.
It is kind of a crazy story though.
That is a crazy story. So it does. There's a theme.
I mean, it's kind of funny, right? If you laugh
In like
at
a
yourself.
sad kind of perilous way.
I mean, it's funny for the government because they get to laugh at us.
I mean, is it really going to impact you
no,
in the foreseeable future?
no.
Maybe.
It might. Probably not.
I mean,
I agree with James. I don't think it does. But maybe it allows for other, maybe it sets a precedent.
I think the government already knows what type of porn everyone watches, so
It's probably their number one tracking list.
probably. I mean, I bet there's just like 2 or 3 guys sitting around one monitor, and there's just a list of like like a live list of porn
It's like
categories.
a new video starts streaming.
Not
online,
videos,
or
just like a list of what people are typing into whatever porn sites, and they're just looking at like what people are searching.
I don't think the government needs to do that. I think that Google's already doing that.
Well, okay, it's subsidized by a private company. Main point is, there's 3 guys watching, not
Doesn't have to
watching
be
the
a
videos.
government thing. It can be just a business tracks.
And it's
If there's a-
2015. It could be like 2 girls, 1 guy, 3 girls,
Yeah, okay, you're right.
1 girl, 1 trans person color.
There-
person
there-
color,
there are
and
3
then
people.
1 straight white male.
3 human beings.
And they walk into a bar.
What if a dog walks into the room? Do you think it affects like the way the date is perceived?
Can the dog is
It's like a dog
Can't-
show dog.
okay?
It's not some like run-of-the-mill shitbird dog.
No, it's a trained dog
It's a trained dog.
that is aware of its surroundings at all times.
But
What
occasionally
is a
it's in the
trained
house.
dog? Is that like different from a boat dog, or is that like a what kind of dog is that? Is it like a plane dog, or is it like a car dog?
It could be a plain dog because I think the dog has to be more trained to be on a plane than in a car. Because you can put any dog in a car.
I'm pretty sure they're all cruise dogs.
Alright. So with the theme of being crazy stories, I would like to throw out there, what is the craziest thing you guys have done to impress a person? It can be some girl you were trying to hit on, or just any person, maybe somebody you hate. You wanted to just spite them and be like, I can do this. So, screw you.
I'm gonna no-nos goes this one. I gotta think about that.
Think about it.
That's tough.
Do you have anything, Tom?
I don't think I've done anything
No, it doesn't have to be like-
necessarily. I mean, like wild and crazy. And
Yeah, I'm not
fascinating.
talking about that. I'm just like something you wouldn't normally do. to do something, but like, you went out of kind of your comfort zone for it.
Well,
It doesn't have to be successful either. Hell, it's better if it's not.
I mean, well, this was kind of successful, but it was more kind of like I guess poorly executed in a way. I think it was the first Valentine's Day I had with Bailey, and she was still. I was living in a house off campus, and she was still in the dorms. And I think it was like midterm elections were coming up. So what I went around doing on February 14th, around like 2 in the morning, I went out and I probably stole eight. No, I think I did this on the 13th because I think I had to get the signage ready. But I went out and stole like 8 to 10 those lawn election signs, like the things with the forks you just like put in your lawn to endorse certain candidates.
Yeah.
And I went around the neighborhood and took a decent amount of those off them. Not out of anybody's actual property, but they were on like it was on the boulevard. Well, no, there was like a boulevard, so there was like that grass median in the middle, and I was like taking them out of that, so it was kind of public property. But it was like they were all technically expired, I guess, at this point.
Election season is over by then.
Or it might have been for coming. I don't know. Maybe they were just like really new signs. Either way, I took the signs out and I made some signs, because what I was doing was like using those to be the backdrop for large. Like I got like poster board, and I just made like a "Happy Valentine's Day, babe." Something I don't remember exactly what it said, and then like I folded it up poorly, took it down to the outside of her dormitory, and I knew where like her window was, so like I set it up kind of in like this grove outside, so she could like look out her window and see it. But the problems arose in the fact that it was a very stormy night, that Valentine's Day night, so part of it got real fucked up. It was still kind of hard to see from her window. I had to go take it out at some point later to avoid the risk of littering, because like shit was falling apart, and like the signs were like
Flying all over the place.
Yeah, like it was actually like a mess, and it was like you couldn't see like a third of the signage from her room. So it was like, oh, it's a nice gesture, but it was also like the middle of winter. Everybody else, like, because I mean, you do those like these big public displays of affection, like, you know, for the attention, just to like, you know, show off, and it's all just kind of like, you know,
I have somebody.
And, like, I am this great, but like nobody really ended up seeing it, and I don't think Bailey would have seen it had I not like called her in the morning and been like, hey, did you look out your window?
Hey, look what I did for you.
That's the best kind of surprise. Hey, hey, I got a surprise for you.
Look out your window. It's like a dead cat hanging from the window. I skinned it just for you, babe. So, I don't know. It was kind of just one of those things where it was out of my comfort zone and somewhat irrational to do. But it was also just kind of stupid, I guess.
Yeah, it was
in the end.
You put yourself out there for everyone in her dorm area to see what you did. And as far as you know, there are a handful of people that saw it.
Probably, yeah.
And a lot of people that did not see it because of the storm.
Yeah. Well, we'd only been dating like a few months at the time too, so it wasn't like, you know, there was a whole lot to like base a whole lot of it without like.
So now you're lowering the stakes.
Well, I'm kind of like lowering, like, in a sense, raising the stakes, because there was, I guess, like, you know, when you do something like that early in a relationship, you're kind of like walking a fine line of being like really fucking crazy.
Yeah,
because there's like being like cool and romantic, and there's being a fucking creep.
Yeah.
And I think that really kind of like tiptoed the line for a little bit.
Yeah, because you had only been dating for 4.
4 or
But
5
if it
months. or
hadn't
something like
worked
that.
out, then the stakes were lower because it was a young relationship. That's young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like, it's just like, oh,
We've been dating for 5
Right.
years.
we've been
Yeah.
dating for 5 years and our relationship's in trouble because, he never does anything romantic for me. We never go out and do anything. It's like, this was early on,
Yeah.
and yeah, okay, so yeah, in that sense, there was.
But I
there
get
was
what you're
less
saying too,
space.
though.
There was
Definitely
less to
higher stakes
lose,
to-
but
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
a lot to lose.
Right.
Yeah, at the same time.
But there would have been so many better places on Like, I could put it like, on the walkway to her first class in the morning, or
Yeah.
And just
I
use
could
one
have brought her
sign.
flowers first thing in the morning.
Hey, you're such an idiot, Tommy.
I mean,
Jeez,
hindsight's
Tommy,
20/20.
Why can't you just think of a well thought out plan and execute it just damn near perfectly?
I didn't put a whole lot of planning into that one.
Huh.
Honestly, it was kind of like I was frantic for a while, and I was like, wait, this is an idea, and I went with it.
Well, it worked out. You guys are still together, so that's something.
All
And then,
because of that.
did she end up seeing the remnants of it?
No, but she saw the sign. Like she saw like it was later in the day when I had to take it down for
Mhm.
sure. And I knew like at some point I'd have to.
And
like,
you
take it.
went to her door and like, see, this is what I did.
No, she like saw it from out the window and
I
everything.
know. I'm just giving you a hard time,
Metaphorically.
metaphorically. Yeah. Kylie, do you think of a story, or do
I did think of a story.
All right.
A quick one.
Not as
Not
well
as
descriptive.
Not as, not as detailed as Tommy's. But
That's fine.
this is a story from a long time ago when I was, I think, 4 or 5 years old. I was a very well-behaved 4 or 5-year-old, very
Mhm.
straight-laced, very. If I had glasses at the time, I would push them in with one finger in the center of them. As a 4 or 5-year-old.
A
As a
straight
four or
edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was with family, and we were at some uncle's house, and there was like a field a couple blocks away, and so the adults took us kids over to the field, and we got to ride in the back of the pickup truck.
Nice.
Right, so we drive over there, I'm in the back, and we get out, and I kind of wait for my uncle to get out of the truck and lower the gate and let me out. But all my cousins and my brother, they all jumped off the side of the truck. And,
You had to be one of the cool kids.
yeah, they were the cool kids, and so I just waited for the uncle to open the gate, and I slowly got off the truck. And whatever, we went and played in the field, and on the way back, I guess I missed something. I guess he lectured them all or something, because when we drove back to the house and got out, first thing I jumped off the side, and they all queued up to get off, slowly get off, and got quite a yelling from the uncle to not jump off the side. But I was trying to impress my cousins and be like, hey, I can do it too.
I can be
I can
cool
be
too,
cool.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't go as planned. That's my little.
Maybe they
little
thought
story.
you were cooler because you were the only one that got like really yelled.
I probably cried afterwards. Let's be honest here.
But Timmy did it.
Why are you yelling at me?
Oh, that's funny. I
You just pushed your glasses up and
Yeah.
just been like, excuse
My
me,
imaginary
I
glasses.
did not, I did not hear the first warning.
kind of looking down, as if you had glasses, you would be
Yes.
looking over them
Mhm.
at your uncle. But excuse me, I did not hear.
This is unjust.
Like Tom, mine was also to impress a girl. At the time I was dating a girl, we had been dating for a couple weeks, and then she's like, "Oh, you're funny. You should do stand-up." And I laughed it off because, girls say that stuff because they think you're funny, with air quotes.
One thing led to another, now you're sitting in your living room doing a podcast.
Basically, one thing led to another. I ended up doing stand-up for a male beauty pageant that my high school was doing, and I crushed the auditions, but I did not get on the show, because they said stand-up was too risky, because a kid that had done it 2 years ago had done stand-up and bombed. And so, like, although we love your act, can't do it, too risky, sorry.
Yeah.
I said, alright, whatever, that's cool, I'll go home and cry, it's whatever. Didn't go home and cry. Completely.
Did the girl leave you since you couldn't get into the
No, that
talent show?
happened because girls are stupid.
You're right. Collectively, the
Adequate
entire,
response.
the entire gender.
I could just pushed off because of one girl.
We don't believe in feminism here.
No. And so I ended up doing it at a talent show, and that went well. And then I started going to open mics in town, and then eventually to LA and San Diego. And now I want to become a stand-up comedian, and I am a stand-up comedian, because if you just say you want to be it, you're not going to be it. And I did that to impress a girl, and now that girl is married, and that's weird. But that's the craziest thing I've done.
So what you're telling me is that girl changed your life.
Oh yes.
So she wasn't that stupid in the end.
So
No.
maybe she knew.
In the end. In the end.
In the end, you were the stupid one at first. But
Yes.
together you have become one beautiful pro-equality
I love
butterfly.
feminism.
Oh yes. And now I enjoy spending time with smart women, because women can be smart.
I now enjoy many feminists.
Now enjoy all of the feminists. Starting off with Amelia Earhart, because I like to think that she was before her time, even if she didn't know.
She was
The female pilot that got lost.
Right. No, I know she was. She was very, very successful.
Yeah. And then, so my next question is, how crazy, stupid drunk have you guys ever gotten?
What house is this from?
I have gotten quite crazy and quite stupid and quite drunk. Multiple times.
Alright.
There's, of course, Tommy knows the story, one time, which would probably be the craziest and drunkest and stupidest that I've
Are you talking about when I came back from Cabela's?
What?
Are you talking about when I came back from Cabela's? And you guys were hanging out in the house?
I don't remember that night.
It was because you were crazy,
Okay.
stupid drunk.
Yeah. I mean, college was a wild time.
Yeah.
This is when you peed in the cup.
Oh, yeah, I peed in a cup and put it on the bar. I remember that. I didn't get that drunk last night. Or that night.
But I didn't get drunk last night either.
No, I mean, I was drunk, but, like, none of us three threw up that night, though. I don't think I threw up, or Stephanie or Emma. I don't think.
You just peed in a cup and put it
Yeah,
on the bar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did somebody drink that piss?
Well, it was like our.
Picked it up.
It was our bar, like in the house.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
a bar in the living room, so it wasn't like we were like were out and he
But it's like
peed in
there's
the
lots
cup in
of cups
public.
on.
And
There's lots of cups on there. Some with water, like palm cups, or
Yeah.
yeah. The drunkest would probably be both involving this guy, Tommy. One would be the first party as a freshman in college when I drank a little too much Jaeger, and
Oh, the rally.
the rally.
Right. Yeah. Forgot about that.
And the other would be also with you when I puked all over Joe's apartment.
That was one night. What 2 nights? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I should go into detail on either of those. 'Cause
Yeah.
Just leave
they're
everybody
both long
hanging.
stories, yeah. But
Oh, we got time. Just choose one of them.
There's
One-
also like the luxury of like private information too.
That too.
too.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not gonna push if you don't want to do it.
No, that's fine.
You
It's just-
no, you can hit the skip button and just leave it at you peed in a cup
I'm just gonna say.
and left it on a bar where people could have picked it up and drank it.
I'm just gonna say. I mean, the drunk nights are always memorable in their own way for everyone, and everyone has them eventually.
Yeah.
I think, and that they're always crazy, and you can always look back on them, and they're pretty funny. But
I
I'll
think
just
if you like share the story too much, like
that too.
It's
I've
like
told the
people-
story many times. I haven't told the story about with Joe though. really.
Well, there's not much of a story.
Yeah,
there.
I was just gonna say this. So we drank some $2 chuck, some wine. We smoked, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Because that was
Yeah.
it was Joe's.
yeah. And then I also had my first cigarette that night too.
Shoot.
Yeah, and only cigarette. And I was in the bathroom in Joe's apartment, next to the toilet, saying, "Guys, I'm gonna puke. Guys, I'm gonna puke." And I'm sitting on the floor, and they're like, "No, you're not. Come on out here." And you guys, I had my like clothes off, ready to puke, and you guys made me come out into the living room. I was like, "No, guys, I'm gonna puke." And then, as soon as I get out there, after you guys convinced me to come out, I promptly spewed red all over Joe's kitchen table.
It's more like purple.
It was purple? Okay, it's purple.
Yeah, next.
Yeah.
You didn't eat his L's for a while after that.
I did not eat it. Oh, that's right, we had a Zell's that night.
We had a Zell's that
We're
night.
drinking, yeah.
His L's is this fried chicken place. It's really fucking good.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw up will turn you off to whatever you ate
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah. So Joe put me out on this little patio for most of the night. I just kind of puked to myself.
We kind of
there.
left soon after that.
Did you? Yeah. And then, coincidentally, Joe lived right next door to my apartment building, which
Yeah,
is very
really,
useful.
really helped out.
So he walked me home eventually.
Yeah.
What was that? I don't think I did whatever I was supposed to do the next day.
Yeah, no, I
I
wouldn't.
just kind of sat in my room.
That's as good a reason as any
Yeah.
to not do anything.
So that's that.
All right. Do you have any
Um,
enlightening stories that you are willing to put out there into the world
Are you willing to put out in this world?
for
I am willing to put out
the government to,
into the world.
and hopefully Obama listens to?
Well, I mean, again, it's not too wildly exciting because, like, when you have these experiences, the memories are always so much better, like, to you than
Yeah.
to other people.
Right.
But
Mhm.
I had a rather festive 22nd birthday, and I think at some point, like, because we were at this bar that had bocce ball, and you could rent like the bocce ball courts for however long.
Oh, I was there then.
Yeah, you were there
I
then.
had to leave
You did.
because it was high week.
Yeah, yeah. You guys weren't really drinking. You guys just showed up to be supportive.
Pretty much.
Which was nice. Thank you.
No problem. Of course.
But yeah, so after we got done with our time with the bocce courts, I didn't feel like paying for it because it was like $20-something per hour to run it, and nobody was really
Ooh.
playing anymore. So we just kind of stopped and kept drinking for like 4 more hours after, and people just kept feeding me whiskey drinks, and the more I
Yes, they
had,
should.
the more I wanted it. Until at some point the night becomes a bit of a haze, and two of my friends' birthday present to me was that they were the bar we were at was very far away from where I was living at the time. So my roommate and another friend of ours, like their present to me was to pay for the cab ride home. So we took the cab back, and I woke up the next morning facing a trash can with a backpack full of textbooks on.
Wait a
So
second.
I went roll over.
A trash can, you say?
Yeah.
So we've gone.
Oh my God, we've gone full circle.
Sorry, go on.
That's what happened. Somebody got drunk and needed a
we found
trash
it.
can. Guys, we know where to look now.
So if we get drunk, we'll know where to look.
Ah.
What do they call that? Like the triggered memory or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go like back into the room to
Yeah.
remember why you left the room. That's what it is.
So anyway, I woke up. I was in my bed, laying on my side with a backpack full of textbooks on. So that it was my roommate's backpack.
Oh, that's genius.
So I wouldn't roll over onto
What a
my
good
back
guy.
and
Yeah.
throw up and drown in my own vomit.
Yeah.
Which was a constant fear of many of our friends throughout college for
As it should
for
be.
some
I mean,
reason.
several rock
Instead of
stars have
fearing
died
the
that way.
damage that binge drinking does to your body, it was all about fearing the.
The
'Cause it's
inevitable
very
death of
It's death,
binge
yeah.
drinking.
Yeah.
Because like binge drinking is not going to kill you.
It'll just
Usually.
wear away at your body.
Usually.
It will just. It's not a quick death. It's a
Assuming you
slow
don't get
death.
poisoning,
Yeah.
and you'll just hurt yourself. So.
You'll just feel really, really crappy for a long time.
Which I did. I stayed in bed. Till,
Which I did. Happily.
I stayed in bed throughout most of the day.
As did Kyle.
I didn't eat anything until 8 or so o'clock the next day, or the 8 o'clock the day after the birthday party, and I ordered like $30 in Indian food to be delivered to the house, and I went outside. The way the duplex was set up that I was living at the time is the front door was in the back of the house, and it wasn't really lit, so I was just in like basketball shorts, a t-shirt, and a bathrobe, and I threw on the slippers, and I walked down to the end of the driveway, picked up the food, and like walked back in, and I ate that, and then I went right back to bed.
Sounds like a solid day.
I think that if that's the one thing to take away from these great drinking stories, is that you have a lot of fun, but I think like those hungover days suck more than binge drinking nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suck
Yeah.
more than binge drinking nights are
Yeah.
fun.
Right.
You got to
Yeah.
find out if the hangover the next day will be worth it during
But it never
the
is worth
night.
it.
But
It's
If you
never
have
will,
a bad
yeah.
hangover, it's not.
it's really, are you willing to put up with the hangover?
Well, there's like I mean you can wake up the next day after a little bit of drinking and be really dehydrated and have a headache throughout the day, and that sucks. But like when you have those like I went out and like actually like got blackout drunk, and like you really are doing a shit ton of harm to your body, and like you're like I mean that day I'm not like kidding when I said that I didn't do anything all day besides order food. Like it was a complete waste of a day.
It's like you're just nauseous and you're dehydrated, and nothing you
Yeah.
can do can make you. No matter how much fluid you get in you and food, you still feel sick. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
I didn't really like watch TV or anything. I just kind of like slept. So it was like I had 2 days off of work, and
Yeah.
then it was 5 days back on, and I kind of just wasted
That's
half
second
that,
day.
just
Yeah.
like feeling like shit.
And not even wasted in a good way, just wasted in you felt awful. the whole
Yeah.
time.
Like actually having a sick day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like definitely it's good to go out and get drunk,
Yeah.
drink. And
It's fun to
Go
go out and
celebrate every once.
But
Treat yourself
Definitely.
to harm.
think.
I think finding your limit is an
Yeah.
important part of.
Let's just make
Drinking
this a coming
culture.
of age story.
I guess so.
This is just.
It really has. In your years,
Like, wow.
I guess.
How do you think, like,
you've learned?
Leave It to Beaver, What was Beaver's first drunk
What was
night,
Beaver?
Like,
Did you like?
and then the next day he felt like shit. And you
Yeah.
think he drank again? He totally drank again.
Oh,
Drink
definitely.
again. Like no, like I mean, it's tried and true. Anybody who says I'm never gonna drink
Right,
again,
they
like,
always
unless they're
drink
like in the middle of like their group at AA, and it's like I'm taking the
Right.
pledge not to drink again.
Right.
But like nobody wakes up one morning feeling like she's just like, oh, I'm never gonna drink again.
Right.
'Cause-
Well, they feel like that,
Well, they
but
feel
then
like
they
that.
don't do that.
And they might
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, they might totally
I'll say that to myself. I'll be
Well,
like,
definitely.
yeah.
never again, never again.
And then the next night when I'm out to dinner, yeah, I'll have a beer.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I was in between two stories, but I think I'm gonna go with my 16th birthday when I went to come visit you.
I don't know if you should be putting out a bunch of like underage drinking stories on the internet.
That's
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mentioned when I was a freshman.
fine. Yeah. They can't do anything about it now. At least I don't think they can.
I don't know.
Well,
I just
fuck.
don't think they would.
I don't think they would
Anyone
bother.
really cares. And I've been realizing lately, there's a lot of rules out there, a lot of structure in like
That are
life.
just kind of
No,
loosened
no,
up
in
by it.
life and in law and in work and in school. But they're only really as good as like people in charge, and if you're willing to follow them.
Yeah. Anyways, I already put that information out there, so it's out there.
Where did you already put it out?
Huh?
Where did
Oh, okay, it's live. We're live.
Oh, you mean you've already brought up the issue?
Yeah, the
yes.
issue.
Yes, you could not recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
You were very young. It was very irresponsible of us.
No, you guys kept a good eye on me.
It was a very irresponsible night.
Oh, definitely. But we got the go-ahead, so it was fine.
Who did we get the go-ahead from?
Mom.
Oh, okay. Mom was just like,
Because-
oh, if you guys want to
totally
drink.
fine with parental supervision.
Well, yeah, we did. Well, it wasn't parental.
We didn't have
We didn't have parental. We had parental.
We had several
permission.
20-somethings hanging out.
Yeah.
And,
Basically, our mom's like, oh, if he's gonna want to drink, I guess it's okay. Even though last time I was up, I was like, no, I'm fine. And even this time when I was up, I was like, no, don't want to. And until we heard that, like, it's like mom's like, oh, go ahead and do it. And so we're like, why not? Name of the podcast. Full circle again. And so I got drunk enough to where they had me reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, and I could not do it to save my life. And it was really funny because at that time, I was teaching the Pledge of Allegiance to second graders in sign language, so I really should have known it, like by heart. Couldn't do it.
Pledge of Allegiance connoisseur.
Yeah, I really
Let
was.
yourself down.
I really did. I was really disappointed in myself the next day. And they had me do that 6 or 7 times. Couldn't do it. Didn't even get close. And then come later in the night, they sat me down. They put a trash can by me. But to me, the trash can smelled. You know, like trash cans do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, it doesn't. And I was like, yes, it does. And my reasoning for that was because I could read a sign that was on the other side of the room, which said gin bean liquor. That's all it said. At least I think that's what it said.
I know
Pretty sure
what
what it
sign
said.
you're speaking of.
We had that Jim Beam sign in the
Yeah.
house.
But I read that, and I was like, see, I can read that, so that trash can smells.
Your senses are still alive.
My senses were there.
Well, I'm not sure smelling and vision are the same sense.
I'm pretty
but-
sure they're connected. Look, I'm no doctor, but they are. And I kind of
I
do
can
that.
see that stank.
Yeah, and it's bringing it back to the trash can, because there was a trash can there. So, guys, we just need to get plastered and find our trash can. That's what we need to do. I didn't throw up. Drank a lot of water that night. Woke up. A little bit of a headache.
Young bodies heal quickly.
It's true.
But,
Eventually the hangovers
I-
will come.
yeah. And
Make it
so,
worse.
did that. That's probably.
Sometimes it's better to
Is it
throw up than to keep
That's
it
what
out.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Because I've heard you feel better. But I don't like throwing up. So I
Depends
won't.
if it's still in your stomach, then just
Yeah.
get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. Oh yeah. And I think that's where we're gonna end this one.
Trash cans.
Trash cans.
Trash cans.
So, what I want I would say viewers, but this is a podcast, so the listeners. What I want the listeners to take away from this whole experience on crazy stories is don't lose your trash cans. That's number one. Because then you have nowhere to put your trash, and then you just become a hoarder, and then you end up on TV. So never mind. You lose your trash can, end up on TV. And 2, learn from your mistakes.
Like calling girls stupid on a podcast.
Or like calling girls stupid on a podcast.
That might be a good.
That's a pretty good thing to not do.
That's number 2. Don't call girls stupid. Girls are smart.
Luckily,
Can-
tone of voice tells you a lot about the intent behind the
Yeah.
message.
Tone of voice is key in all relationships.
Visibility of signage is
Visibility of signs is related to if the trash smells. And just think before you do. I think that's the biggest thing other than the trash can. And I just like to thank the people that are listening to this, and Kyle Barrett for showing up, and Tom Drake for putting up with my crazy idea to do a podcast in our living room, and maybe do another one in the future. So thank you for listening to Why Not Podcast.
This is gonna be on NPR.
Why not? If we can get the go ahead, why not?
NPR is submitted by.
Yeah.